sent an email saying I was definitely going to do it. Because of the page, I found a really inspiring story. The fact that it was true, and that the characters were layered and complex, that it was centered around a girl, a young girl from a small place with a big dream. I mean, that's something that really, really I connected to. And something that I wanted to be a part of, because it's not very often that we get to see this perspective, and certainly not from a slum in Africa, and that it is an uplifting story. It's not one where we're feeling pity for any of the people we encounter. It's one full of dignity. It's one that is passionate and empathetic and compassionate, and I wanted to be a part of that. And especially playing Harriet, at that point, nothing like this had crossed my table. Absolutely nothing. Nobody was asking me to play the mother of 5. And this is a woman who had her first child at age 15. She's young when we meet her. She still has a whole future ahead of her, and yet she's so burdened with life, and she's so suspicious of dreams. And for me, that's so opposite from my view. And I think it's so important for us to consider viewpoints that are different from our own, because I think it encourages empathy in the world, and we could all use some empathy. So these are some of the reasons. And then the fact that Mira Nair was directing it, a woman that I worked with before. I worked for Maisha in 2006, and I was an intern for her in 2005, and now here I was going to get a chance to be in front of her camera. She's a woman that I respect deeply. Her vision is one that I admire. And she knows Uganda, so I knew that she would tell this story from the inside. You know, she wouldn't be condescending to the characters we meet. That she would pay her respects to this place, and I'm very proud of being a part of it and what she has done with it.
David, maybe you can also respond.
Yeah, I mean, in response to the question, which is why this movie, for me, it was finally this movie. So that there was no moment where I thought, okay, let me think about that superhero movie over this movie. This to me is one of the most important things I've been involved with in my life, certainly from a creative point of view, but also as an African myself. When you hear Robert Katende talk, even just now, to have a man like that in a film that the world can see, an African man, a man in a functioning marriage, a man who loves his family, a man who loves his community, a man who's changing his community. I struggle to find too many images of that in film anywhere. And it's a reality of this continent. It's a reality of what makes our communities in Africa function, and we don't get to see it. And so for me, you know, when you hear Fiona Mutesi's intelligence and what she's achieving, that also happens every day across this continent, but we don't see enough of it. And unfortunately, these images that we're seeing in this film internationally are some of the first time that people are seeing that coming out of an African nation. One of the most incredible things I've had said to me when people have seen this film thus far is when Europeans, Americans see this film, white Americans, and say, I want to go to that place. You know, like Robert was just saying, that doesn't happen when you see a number of films I could mention, which I won't. And that's a change, that's a shift. And it's not that we shy away from the challenge of living in a place like Katwe. We just show its humanity, we show its joy, we show its color. We show that these are people who you can relate to and who make you feel like life is something to be grasped. And that to me is something incredibly important, of huge value. So, you know, when I read the script, when I sat down with Mira, and it was clear that we were on the same page about what we would like to see coming out of Africa. And it's gone beyond my expectations in terms of the film we've made. This is something I'm dedicated to as an artist, and I'm so happy to have this exist.